Growing up, 17 was always the age at which my mom would consider me grown. She would consider me grown at that age because I would graduate high school at that time and go off to college after. So in my mom's relationship with myself, we would always look to that as like, that would be the time where it would be like rite of passage. Latia does her thing. You are whatever and whoever you would like to be, that is your time. And in my senior year of high school, she was like, would you like to live with your dad? And I'm like, bro, what? Like, that's crazy. But she was also like, oh, how are you gonna pay that $400 for your college, whatever? And I was like, Mom, none of your business. Like, really? Like, this is the question you asked me. And growing up around the age of 12, I recall being like, my parents are dummies. They do not know what they're doing. And I don't mean that in necessarily like an insulting way where it's just like, oh, they're idiots, they don't know what they're doing. But at the same time, that's exactly what I meant. They were idiots, they didn't know what they were doing. They were 20 and 21 when I was born. Actually, 19 going on 20 and 21 when I was born. To be specific, because that's how I roll. And at that age, you're still a child yourself. So you're still figuring out who you are, what you would like, how does the world work. And all of a sudden, now you're married with a child and becoming parents. That's also a time, it was within a year or two after my mom graduating from high school. So she went from being in high school to being a wife without very much time to explore herself and what she wanted in between. So definitely in like middle school, very young age, I was aware that my parents are still learning what to do as individuals. So it's tough for me to really rely on them and understand, like, you know, I guess I just always had an understanding of their humanity and also that I still loved them and respected them. Welcome to my channel. I am Latia. I am a data engineer. I have a YouTube channel and I like to talk. And right now, my parents are relevant mostly because of different choices that I made growing up. And I remember I was 18. It was after my first year of college, and I decided that I was doing a summer study abroad, 6-week program, staying in France. I received scholarships for it. I worked really hard to make it happen. And I remember being on the phone with my dad. He was pissed. I don't even remember what we were arguing about, but he was like, do you think you're grown? You're making grown choices. And it was just like, yeah, I'm in college. I pay my bills. You aren't paying for anything. He did try to help me. So my mom, when it came to college, my mom was like, I got my own student loans. Good luck, girl. And then my dad was like, all right, let me try to help you. And then it was like, oh, I can't. And it was like, okay, cool. So through financial aid and FAFSA, like I took on all the student loan debt. I was responsible for myself financially. But last night, I know I was thinking about this. It was like, what made my dad think that I was not responsible or an adult or in charge of myself? And we've had a weird experience within the last year or two where he also was treating me like, Latia, you are spoiled and selfish and I'm going to set you straight. And it's like, bro, I'm in my 20s. Stop. Like, you're my dad. Yes, you birthed me. But the time for you to punish me, to correct my behavior has passed. And I know I've talked with one of my family members about this, where it feels like in our family, there's never this point where you're invited to the adult table and you're grown and, you know, you get the respect of an adult. It's like you wait until all the older people pass away and then all of a sudden now you might possibly be an adult. But even then, it's like, I know one of my aunts, like one of my mom's sisters was like, I'm not grown. And it was just like, at your age and you're a grandma and you're like, what? How are you not grown? It's like the concept of being grown in the Black community, at least with my experience, is a bad thing. It's like to be grown means what? Oh, who do you think you are? You think you grown now? Oh, you think you can talk to me like that? Oh, so we playing this game? Like, that's what it means to be grown. It's like it's a threat to people. It's like, oh, you can't be grown, like you can't be mature and take care of yourself. You can't make these choices. And it's just like, what? Who is? Like, who's supposed to make these choices? It's my house. I pay the bills. It's my life. I move where I want. Like, what are the qualifications for being an adult? Now, I don't know if you're black, white, brown, Puerto Rican, Haitian, whatever you are. It's a hip hop nation. Sorry, I just couldn't help myself. I was like, I know this song. But have you had moments where you felt like your family was not allowing you to grow up and leaves you stuck in this kid zone where you're in this space where it feels like you're not a girl, not quite a woman, but like there's no real recognition of where you are in your development process? That too was a song reference. I feel like Kelly Clarkson, also Avril Lavigne. So I'm just like, don't take my references. I don't always know who sings songs. Maybe Christina Aguilera, actually. Not a girl, not yet a woman. Anyways, if you've had this challenge, please comment. I would love to hear about it. But lately I've been thinking about that in relations to sexuality and intimate relationships. So if we are in this space where there's no real handing off of your ownership of yourself, like there used to be in weddings, father will give his daughter, the bride, to the groom. There is a ceremony where there's an acknowledging of a transference of ownership or responsibility. And it could just be like a symbolic thing, but it's also like, it's kind of a real thing that people do. Where once a woman is married, now she is the wife of this person. She is this. But what about that space in between? When she had her own job, was getting her own money, being an independent woman. How do we define independent single women who are doing things for themselves? How do we honor and acknowledge that transition and that responsibility in life in a way where we aren't taking that as a threat? There is no threat to a strong, independent woman. There is no threat to a woman who is in ownership of herself and her body, who will allow herself to feel attracted to someone and say, no, I do not want to have kids right now. I do not know you well enough to allow the chance of you being the father of a child that I would not want. We're not going to have sex yet. And it's not because of some 90-day rule, and it's not because of some other stuff. It's just I've looked within myself, taken a moment, and now it's not the time for this. You're not worthy of me yet. And just let it be that. I choose to say no. I feel like we're also told we're not allowed to say no. And I know I have this impulse in my job often where even though they're not my parents, they're just authority figures, there's this, there's almost this energetic exchange where people say things in a way where it's like you can tell that they're like, you're not saying no. So I remember being assigned a task and I'm like, this is a stupid task, I don't want it. And it's like, so you're gonna do this task by when? So what are the steps you're gonna take on this task that I'm assigning you that you cannot say no to? Okay. So you're doing it, but like that task that I assigned you that I care about, that you don't care about, like, you know you're gonna do that. And that's like something a lot of people do. And what I think is what makes poor managers is we pretend everyone else has our agenda. So I don't know why you watch my channel. Very few of you tell me anything like that. And if you told me, I would highly likely take it into consideration. But since you don't want to engage with me, I'm not a mind reader. So I'm like, wait, this is my therapy and my catharsis. So let me do me. And if you'd like to comment, you're welcome to. I'm excited. I like to talk. I like conversations. That's why I don't like social media. Because I will say something all profound and deep and people will be like, yeah, girl. Oh my gosh, me too. I feel you. And I'm just like, where are the conversationalists? Who wants to talk? Let's dive into this. Let's unpack. And most people are like, what? Unpack? You so funny. And it's just like, curses. But a lot of the times we think other people care about what we have to say. And it's not that they don't. It's just that they care about what they have to say more. So it would be like on this, I'm on video. I am still learning how to, I don't know what I'm learning how to do, but I don't necessarily know how to engage people and make you want to talk to me, but I want to hear from you. So please comment, talk to me. Like, I like engagement, and I'm still learning how do I gather engagement and support and get people interested. That's not my strong suit, and it's something to learn, and I hope I get it because I'd love to hear from people. But at the same time, in daily life, when you're bothered by someone and they're whatever, and you go to them and you're like, hey, that bothered me, most of the times they're like, either I don't care, cool, it bothered you, or they're bothered by the fact that you're bothered by something that they do. And now we get into this like triggering, fighting, defensive place, and it's like, hey, it's okay. Like, we just, there's like just a lot of opportunity to really make communication easy for everyone. And I believe it really begins as women are allowed to be independent and strong without being attacked for it, without she thinks she grown, without, you know, leaving us in this weird adolescent space where it's like, you're not a girl, you're not quite a woman, I'm not going to treat you like you're grown, because like, still stay out of grown folks conversations. And it's just like, I don't want to talk to these babies, I'm the oldest of the children, I have no one to talk to, I'm so alone, help me. But yeah, that's how it was for me growing up, and it's great. I love my siblings, I love my cousins, I love people, and it's all good. So if you feel alone and you'd like to talk to someone, hit me up, comment, let's figure this out. I got an Instagram, Nerdy Girly Girl is coming to mind, which is the name of my Instagram. Like, my mind is just, I'm like tired and awake at the same time. It's great. But I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and I would love to hear from you. Bye.